today we'll be talking about the parable of the mustard seed and why this specific parable is perhaps one of Jesus' most personal illustrations. This parable is found in 3 of the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Let's look at it in Luke 4:30-32. And he said, "Whereunto shall we liken the kingdom of God? Or with what comparison shall we compare it? It is like a grain of mustard seed, which when it is sown in the earth, it is less than all the seeds that are in the earth. But when it is sown, it groweth up and becometh greater than all the herbs, and shooteth out great branches, so that the fowls of the air may lodge under the shadow of it." So let's talk about the mustard seed. What does the mustard seed represent? Do you know how big a mustard seed is? You know, when I first saw a mustard seed, it was actually smaller than I thought. Take a look here. It's tiny. You can easily fit 40 to 50 mustard seeds on a single penny. So Jesus here is saying that the kingdom of heaven, or the way to heaven, is like a mustard seed. How is that possible? Let's look at another well-known time that Jesus refers to the mustard seed. In Matthew 17:20, Jesus said that his disciples couldn't cast out a demon because of their unbelief. But he said, "For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say to this mountain, Remove from hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible to you." Here Jesus is using the mustard seed to illustrate what you can do with faith. And what do we all know about faith? It is something that grows. Do you remember Abraham? He is called the father of faith. There were many times in his life when his faith was tested. God called him to move from his family and his friends to a place that he had never even heard of. God promised him that he would have a son, even though him and his wife couldn't have children. God promised him that he would make him a great nation, that the Messiah would come through him. But do you know what the interesting thing is? Even though Abraham had faith in God, his faith had to grow. Even though he believed God and acted on it many times, he also made some mistakes too. And from these mistakes, he learned great lessons, and his faith grew. Just like in the parable of the mustard seed, faith can grow from a tiny little seed until it becomes a huge tree. All of us go through trials and difficulties in life. How do we respond to them? We may make mistakes, we may struggle, we may cry, but do we get up and grow from these experiences like Abraham? Looking back at Abraham, he made many mistakes also. He told the king of Egypt and King Abimelech that Sarah, his wife, was his sister. He and Sarah disbelieved God and didn't think that Sarah would have a child in her old age, so they took matters into their own hands. These are some examples when Abraham didn't trust God. But did God give up on him? No. He gave him other opportunities for his faith to grow. He learned from his mistakes and grew from them. His faith grew. It grew so much that through faith he was willing to offer up his only son Isaac as a sacrifice. Why? Because through faith he believed that God was able to raise him from the dead. Do you and do I have that faith? Are we learning and growing from our mistakes? Are the trials and difficulties of our lives helping us to grow in faith? You may have financial difficulties or trying circumstances at work, school, home, or in your relationship or marriage. But how is it affecting you? Is your trust in God growing through these experiences? Is your faith still tiny like a mustard seed, or is it growing into a tree?